Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So a ton of people ask me this question, and the way I think about it is that a guy is a person, a girl is a person, and a guy you like is a person. And so you should just talk to like everyone like they're a person. If you seriously feel like, how do I talk to a guy I like as opposed to just like a guy, I feel like you're overanalyzing it. The same types of questions and things I would talk about with a girl I just met are like the same things I would talk about with a guy I'm attracted to. I've spent the past 2 summers in Thailand on mission trips, and so there's this Thai culture thing that I picked up that's like, so shy, and you say it when you're like nervous about something. And so I understand that you might have that so shy mindset going into talking to someone who you like really like. And that is actually a big problem because you're so nervous in front of this guy that you like don't even know how to talk to him. You're like so scared to talk to him. I am such an outspoken person. I'm really social. I'm confident. I have no problem like introducing myself to strangers. Like I do it all the time. But then I don't even know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. It's the scent thing. I've talked about that on this channel before. It's like this subconscious like scent of attraction that means like you're compatible with this person, and it legit is a thing, and I'm so certain it's a thing because this has happened to me before where I will meet someone and I don't even know what it is, but I just feel like immediately like attracted to, like drawn to this person out of nowhere. And it's like I literally just met them and it's like it's the scent thing. I know it's the scent thing. So when that happens to me, I feel so nervous. Like I immediately get like the butterfly things in my stomach. I like don't know what to say. I feel so shy. So when that happens, I realize it's happening and I'm like, okay, like snap into like faking confidence. So by faking confidence, I don't mean that you're not confident. I just mean that like in that moment, instead of, even though you feel really shy and nervous, you're acting like you're not shy and nervous. That's all I mean by faking confidence. You stop acting like yourself for like a few minutes and you just kind of go into this like, okay, like I'm going to be really confident and like pretend that I do not like this guy at all and I'm just gonna like act really confident. I find for me that after like faking confidence for a little, like that initial nervousness will just go away. Okay, but let's say you meet a guy for the first time and you have that like subconscious scent attraction thing and you want to get to know him. Just treat it like a friendship, treat it like anyone you're meeting for the first time. Like you don't have to treat it any differently than anyone else. He's just a person. So this is the type of stuff you should say. Hey, I'm Liz. What's your name? So nice to meet you. So what's your major? Wait, so are you a sophomore or a junior? Oh, so cool. Where are you from? Why did you pick creative writing for your major? So do you like writing prose or poetry more? Wait, so cool. I did writing in high school and I love short stories so much, but I'm actually writing a novel right now. Oh, you're from the Midwest? I am too. I lived in Ohio for 5 years and Indiana for 5 years. That's kind of like where I grew up. How do you like Pepperdine so far? Why did you choose to come to Pepperdine? Yeah, so did it meet all your expectations? For me, it's like the same. Like this has been my dream school since I was 13 and it's incredible and I'm so happy I'm here. So that's an example of how to have a conversation with someone you just met. And you can definitely apply this to talking to a guy you're attracted to. You just start by asking basic, non-intrusive questions about their life, and then you ask more and more questions and you start a conversation. So if you're not in college, you have to ask different types of questions. So let's say you are in high school and you meet a guy. Hey, have we met yet? I'm Liz. What's your name? Are you in my chem class? Oh, yeah. I sit in like the second row, like on the right. That lab we were doing yesterday was like so difficult. Yeah. Like everyone was like so confused. I know, and he like wasn't helping at all. I am just straight up not a science person. It's just like such a struggle for me. What about you? So you're a junior too? So cool. Have you lived here your whole life? So what do you have next period? Oh, you're in band? What instrument do you play? Oh, you know what? My cousin plays saxophone too. It's like such a cool instrument. I love how it sounds. So there, you find one common interest that you have and then branch out from there. So something about guys is that they love feeling needed and they love feeling like you need help with something and like they need to help you with it. So example of this, a few months ago, it was like the end of the school year and I was in my dorm common room and I was like editing a video on my computer and this guy comes into the room and I'm like, oh hey, like what are you doing here? Because it was like the girls' dorm, it was like 10 o'clock at night, I was just kind of curious. So we started talking and I just like asked a basic question about something I noticed, and then we were talking about how we're both doing summer school, so just noticed like natural conversation, like you're just talking to a person. And then I actually didn't know how to work the housing website because it's like really confusing, so I asked him like, did you figure out how to work the housing website? Because I have like no idea where I'm living, like can you come help me? So then he came over and like took my laptop and like went on the website and figured out for me what apartment I'm living in. It's not even like, I feel like a lot of these things, like, you don't need to think of it as like plotting for ways to talk to someone longer. It's just like a natural thing that you like implement into a conversation. So another example, at the beginning of sophomore year, I had to move all my dorm stuff into another dorm. And so I was talking to a guy at the time who I really liked, who I ended up dating, and I texted him and I'm like, hey, can you help me like move all my stuff into this other dorm? And he was like, of course. So then we got to talk for 2 hours while he helped me move all my stuff, and it was just like a great situation. It's kind of like the damsel in distress kind of thing. So something else to do is to invite him to something that you're involved in. And so maybe this is just because I'm an ESTJ and ESTJs are like so involved in so many things, but I think it's a really good idea to invite a guy to something that you're involved in. So like a Bible study you're in, or I'm in philosophy club at my school. So if you invite him to an event that you're already going to, or like a hangout with your friends, then it's a lot less pressure because it's like a group hangout. So it's not just like you're spending alone time with this person. And this can come across also as just like really natural, like you're just like being nice and like inviting him to something. Like, by the way, tomorrow at 6, I'm going to this thing. Do you want to come? Or like, oh, so I'm in a Bible study group and we're meeting on Thursday at 7. You should come to it. Something else I want to talk about is like being flirtatious and like where that comes in. So I feel like just in general, you should never be like faking flirtation. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, I really like this guy and I want him to know I like him, so I'm gonna start like touching my hair. Like, no, do not start making up body language to try to like get this guy's attention. If you really like a guy, you will naturally be acting like you're attracted to him. You will be smiling more, you'll be laughing more at what he's saying, you'll be like touching your hair, you'll be a little nervous. And I guess when you're talking to a guy who you like, or like a guy you're dating as opposed to just like a guy friend, you talk more about like emotional things. Like I don't ever talk about like emotional things or like spiritual life things with my guy friends that much. I might talk about like, oh, I just had Greek class, it was so much fun, it made me happy. And that's like the extent of like talking about emotions with guy friends. And so if it's a guy you like, you're going to like have more of that like emotional aspect of a conversation. But, and I know I talk about this so much, but be really, really careful with emotional boundaries. And if someone is talking to you and they ask questions that you feel like are like prying too much into who you are, then just be like, I don't want to answer that. And to not make it awkward, if someone is like prying too much, you can just be like, no, I don't want to answer that. Kind of just like add a smile and like a laugh to it, and then it like is not awkward at all. When you do like a guy, you're going to have like common interests, hopefully, and you're going to like be really interested in like who he is. And so just like, my love language is words of affirmation, and so I'm just like tend to be more affirming of people who I'm like interested in. Like, you think their life is so cool, like, oh my gosh, like, you're a creative writing major? I actually don't know any creative writing majors. I don't know why I keep using this as an example. Wow, you write poems all the time? That's really, really incredible. Just stuff like that where like you're fascinated by their life and you think they're like such an epic person, and if you just act excited and like affirming of like who they are, I feel like that's like a good thing and a good way to know that, like a good way to let him know that you're interested in him. A lot of people say that you should never talk about religion or politics when you're talking to someone for the first time, and I think it is a good rule of thumb to not try to get into like a conflict situation. Like, don't have an argument the first time you're talking to someone. But if you are like talking to a guy who you think you might be interested in, you need to talk about religion and politics. Like, if you're like completely incompatible, like if your theology is like all different, like that's not gonna work out. Be really upfront and bold about like your convictions and what you believe, because if that's like a huge like foundation of like who you are, like if your values are really important to you, then you need to like get that out there. And I'm not saying that you guys have to agree on everything. I think it's really good to have disagreement and to have your views challenged. But in a marriage, if you guys are like different religions, or you just like the way you interpret the Bible is drastically different, you're not gonna have unity. And you need to have unity in a marriage in regards to your values. My parents have such a strong marriage, and they like don't really argue with each other ever. And one thing that I notice is that they're like on the same page in regards to politics, in regards to theology, in regards to the way they think about money. Like, they're on the same page. Like, they share the same values, and that's what makes their marriage so strong. In general, I feel like a lot of people try to act different when they're talking to a guy that they like, and I don't think you should act any different than you normally are. Like, I'm a very bold person. I just like say how I feel, and I'm very like upfront and raw about like how I feel a lot of times, and I will act that way regardless of who I'm talking to, because it's kind of like, this is who I am, take it or leave it. Don't act like you're like a different girl, because you don't want a guy to like this different version of yourself. You want the guy to like you. So just be you. If most guys meet you and they don't like you, that's probably a good thing, because you don't want like a bunch of guys to like you and to have to reject a bunch of guys. That would be mega stressful. And so don't worry if like people don't act interested in you. Like one day you're gonna meet a guy who shares a bunch of your interests and who you guys just like click with perfectly and have all this epic conversation chemistry. And when that happens, you're gonna be like so happy that you didn't act like a different girl just to like get a boyfriend who doesn't even like connect with you. Something else is that a lot of people message me and say that like they're so shy to talk to this person and they like don't even know what to say. And I understand if you're shy. I know that like I didn't become like really confident in like talking to anyone until I was like 16. That's when I started just like being totally chill with like going up to strangers and like starting conversations. And so if you're younger than that, I kind of understand how it's kind of like you feel a little shy and like talking to people for the first time. But if you're talking to a guy and you've tried talking to him before and you just have nothing to say to each other, then you know what? You guys just do not have conversation chemistry and it's not gonna work out. So just find someone else. And if you've noticed, I have not in this video mentioned talking to a guy through texting or through Facebook Messenger, because I think those things are like awful ways to get to know each other. Like, oh wow, like you can have really cool texting conversations with this guy. Like, who cares? Like, you're not gonna be married to someone and texting them. You're gonna be talking to them. And so if you can't like go up and talk to someone and like get to know them as like a friend and talk to them, then you can't date this person. Like if you're not able to have a conversation with this person, then you're not ready to date him. And if you're shy about talking to every single guy you're interested in, then maybe you're just like not ready to be in a relationship right now. Because you need to be able to talk and have conversations with guys if you're ready for a relationship. I know that was like really harsh and raw. I don't know why. I'm just like still a little culture shocked right now, and I just feel like, I don't know how I feel. But I hope this video helped you guys so much, and hopefully I can make a video on faking confidence soon, because I feel like that's an important thing to master. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that new videos come out every Monday and sometimes on Thursdays if I'm feeling really ambitious and creative. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in next video. Bye!